Hello, good evening, and welcome back to HTR. This is the start of Season 5 here, but it's also the start of a brand new era for Formula 1. We've got new cars, new drivers, new rivalries, but still with the same old drama and excitement around every turn. And what lies ahead over the next 12 weeks, nobody knows just yet, but it's all about to unravel. And it gets underway here tonight for round 1 in Austria. I'm Sam W11, and joining me in the comms box tonight is a co-owner of HTR, Des10. Good to have you with me, Des. How are you, mate? You okay? Good. I thought you were well, and you are. So the 12-week calendar for this season is, as I referenced, 12 weeks. So it's going to be across 3 months, and there's going to be lots of twists and turns along the way. A variety of tracks. We're going to have some sprint races thrown in there as well. 3 of them for this season. And the calendar, as we start here, round 1 in Austria this week. Then it's Baku, Australia for a sprint in week 3. Belgium, Abu Dhabi, and then halfway point is Imola for a sprint in week 6. Saudi Arabia, Spain, and then the United States for week 9. Canada and Miami not far to travel for those at 10 and 11. And then we finish the season at Monza on October the 3rd for Tier 1. So a very tasty looking calendar. And if you're new to HDR, potentially tune in for the first time, we've got a slightly different point scoring system to what we have in the standard F1 system. So we basically reward crossing the finish line, keeping all 4 wheels moving in the correct direction. So it's 45 points if you manage to claim the checkered flag and the top step on the podium. And that runs all the way down to 1 point if you cross the line in 20th, with lots of intervals in between. And this season it's 2 points for the fastest lap if you're inside the top 10. So an extra bonus incentive there. Keep an eye on who might be able to pick up those 2 points. As we referenced, obviously a brand new season, new cars, new drivers, and a new driver lineup to go with that. So we had the draws for team cars. No team principals this season. They're gone. So it's a straight draw for what car you're in and who your teammate is. So good to see some new partnerships, some old as well. But Des, you want to give us a quick run through the official lineups for Tier 1? Yeah, I think there's some really interesting looking partnerships. I think the McLaren team looks strong, so does the Alfa Romeo team. And speaking of the Alfa Romeo, Andrea is the fast out on track, so he's going to give us our fast look. On the curve. So here we go then. So the first lap of the new season. It's Andrea who gets us going up the hill into turn 1. Keeps it between the lines, and important to just get one on the board, I think, here. Through this kinked turn 2. Up into 3. This is where we might see a lot of the action tonight. Could be some potentially some spins. It's taken nicely by Andrea though. And then the second DRS zone, fast running along the home straight. Sorry, this is the third, the second up into turn 3. And this down the hill, potential for overtaking there as well. It's been clean and crisp from Andrea. Sometimes can let him down. Is he going to encounter a bit of traffic here? Tauri out of the way nicely. He's going to set the tone as long as he cannot exceed track limits on the exit of 9 and then 10. Cuts it nicely, just about keeps the front tyre in check. That's a 104.8 is the benchmark. Briefing cow, I think, did cross the line but was invalid. We're going to have a lot of invalidated lap times, I think, in this session. So just less than a tenth off from the McLaren driver then. Not a bad start. Pumping in a couple of laps as we join briefing cow. Might have invalidated that fast lap. Still going in his second effort. He's just understeering a touch to the outside. So nicely gets the power down and ride that inside right carb. Yeah, a little toe. Matthew goes quickest then. 10th quicker than Andrea for the Ferrari driver. Briefing cow coming across. He's 7th with a 105.5. And you never know going into a new game, you know, new season. It's a completely. Oh, that basketball Dan has gone. We referenced about at the top of the hill on the exit of 3. Is that where he's gone? He's a long way down there though. Very interesting. Oh, and Hugo's round there as well. Just as we join Hugo in the Mercedes at turn 3 as well. Ground in a spin, but no contact with the wall. It's good news for him. Yeah, just before that basketball down instance. You never know going into a new game. Are you going to have the same drivers at the top? Straight away hit it. We've got some usual suspects up there. Smiggy's coming round now. Second McLaren, one McLaren in P3 at the moment. I'm not too sure about that. Let's just relax for a second. Oh, Smiggy, did he keep that in between the lines? Looks like he did. It's not going to be his best effort though. Good enough for 9th, 105.5. Just quicker than Armour in P10. Of course, what we've seen in... Sorry. Yeah, it is quite close, which is nice to see. You know, 105, we've got 4 attempts separating 4th to 10th, so... a lot of jostling for position in there. On board with 8 data in the Alpine. And 5 drivers yet to set a lap. We will see everybody just running the soft tyre this year. There's no need to run the medium. It's free choice wherever you start. So there's no tyre constraints. You don't have to start on your quali tyres. So we'll see. It's, oh, an 8 data into traffic, the McLaren in the way. I think it was a McLaren, it was just starting. It was Smiggy just going for another run. He was on the exit of the corner and 8 data has had to throw it in the pits. We'll join FaZe Lisek then, one of the new drivers in the Haas. He goes through the kink of 2, up the hill into 3. Might get a tow from that McLaren now. Along the DRS straight. Yeah, good to see some new drivers joining as well, the league. Spice up the competition. Hopefully one or two of them can get in the top and disrupt those usual suspects. That's what we want to see. Is it then just winding on the power gradually? A carb on the left hand side, be careful, switches to the right, runs it nicely. And that cambered carb on the left to try and push the car back across. Doesn't run wide on exit, you can throw it all the way at that final corner. So 105.8, P11, the half is 10 and 11 at the moment then. Yeah, just pips Matt by half. If you're crofty, 5/10,000ths of a second or whatever it is he comes out with. So we've got Hugo, Harvey Booth, Kingsley Garlick and 8 Data all yet to set laps. Harvey Booth and Kingsley Garlick still in the pits as well. 9.5 minutes left of quali. Lots of cars out on track, it's very busy. Everybody keen to get an early run. It's quite congested here. Those short lap times, I think that's especially prevalent through the final corner. Very imperative that you stay, if you're entering the pit lane, you stay to the right hand side on entry to the final corner. He's gone purple, it says, in the second sector there, Hugo. In the last game, you were purple sectors all the time. Hugo then winding it on. P9, 105.3, more in that cluster then in the midfield. Oh, it's not a bad effort from Kev actually. He might be the slowest of the runners so far, but for a tier 2 driver. Oh, having said that, he's just jumped into P7 in the Aston Martin, 105.2. Wow. So just the two in. Harvey Booth, Kingsley Garlick still in the pits. 8 Data now does have a run at turn 9. Oh, he was getting very cutty on 10. Held it together. P15. I think he's got time to gain though, especially through that final corner. Positive going into the pits. Go also into the pits. Careful with you going into the pits as well. So people just getting ready now for their last runs, I think, by the looks of it. Everybody winding it down. Matt's coming around the final corner now. Just needs to improve by a minimal margin to jump back into pole position, and he improves by enough. 1.5 tenths. And this is going to go right to the wire, I think. Between Matt and Andrea, positives knocking around there as well. Connor will be pleased with his effort in P4 at the moment. Harvey Booth is now out then. Can fluctuate in form. When he's on it, he is on it. As he runs now all the way up the hill. DRS open. Now, lovely looking machines, these. I do love the new design. Keeps that. Oh! And that's a big moment. Blocking the exit of the pit lane. Smiggy, who looks to have spun it, potentially out of turn 1. And ended up across the track, blocking the pit lane. And that's going to mean he starts from the back. What could have been a very good session for McLaren. He's going to be fuming with that as well, isn't he? You know he's not going to be happy. I'm assuming he's just lost it out of 1. Ran across the pit lane to the right hand side. And that's that. Here comes Harvey Booth then. Charging towards the line, P10. 105.3, but with time to find. Only a fast run, so you can imagine there's stuff to be found. Just track quietened down for a moment. Kingly Garlic still in the pits with no time. You can see King's pit crew coming in, or coming out, ready to receive him. Positive on a flyer then, by the looks of it. He's defined just over 2 tenths. Just over 1 tenth to jump onto the front row. That's nice. Just a slight slide off the cab. He's almost 2 tenths down. Yeah, that's invalid now. Inspirations goes into the box. Hugo then spun it out with that turn 3 earlier, makes it round safely this time. Run down into 4 with a slight kink as well as 5. Don't quite get the apex of 6 and will run wide. Have to just pull the car up a bit lively. Misses it on the inside again. Understeering everywhere here. This Mercedes. Use the camera to swing it back. That's excellent through there though. Cuts nicely 10. And on the power, yeah, really made up for it. Goes 2 tenths quicker into P8. So 3.5 minutes then. Nobody on a flyer. Got the Alpines both on their outlap. Gone. Oh. Some technical issues with Derek. These technical, not more technical gremlins. Late data. Oh, very tight. On 3, it's like looking to bite off a lot more than they can chew on some of these corners. Now, just didn't use any of the carb on the outside. Just kept it in bounds through 8. 9 then swings it. Nice use of the carb. Oh, very cutty in the round and gone. 8 data in the bin. Right on the exit of 10, just pushing in this final run. The other Alpines coming round then. Data will start at best 15th. It's 4 tenths up. This is going to be a big improvement. Could bump them onto the second row potentially here. Just needs to not. Oh, slight slide. There's the front right. And does go onto the second row. Exactly the same time as Positive. Gets the P3. Phenomenal lap. 2 tenths up. We've got just less than a minute then. Pretty much everyone out on track. IXF1 coming across the line. Improves into P10. Matt just starting his flyer then. Oh, who was that round? Harvey Booth round in sector 2. As Will goes into P3 for Red Bull. Fantastic lap from the newbie. Oh, and Creations misses out by 1,000th of a second. Gets onto the front row. And this might be enough for Matt. Andrea's coming round 9 now. Hooks it up nicely. Lots of speed through 10 and power down early. What can the Alfa Romeo do? It's good enough for pole. Matt's still out on track though. Fantastic lap from Will for P4. And Matt's flying. He's over 2/10 up. Traffic's far up the road. Just needs to rest it easy, right on the limit. Outstanding. 104.3 from the Ferrari. That's terrific. The Haas of phase comes through, doesn't improve those stays P8. Hugo coming around, Thallow into 4th. As Hugo round the final corner. Lots of speed on entry to it. It improves up to P8. Alex F1 couldn't improve. Will's enough for P5. Harvey Booth though with the spin will chuck it into the pits. And well, what a lap, what an end to the session. Creations missing out by 1,000th of a second at the time. Andrea pumped in the 104.6 dead. And then Matt though blew it out of the water by 2.5 tenths to claim pole. But no points for that. It's going to be all about the race. There we have then Matt, Andrea on the front row. Creations and Thallow on the second row. Will the newbie creep into P5. Good start there. Triet in P6. Then the Mercedes of Positive and Hugo Positive might be slightly disappointed. Just over half a second off the pace. FaZe Lizek and Tom 9 and 10. Axe F1 Kev, Harvey Booth, Armour King 14th. Briefing Cow 8 Data, and then Kingly Garlic didn't set a lap time. Basketball Down binned it out of the exit 3. And Smiggy disqualified for blocking the pit lane. A very contentious one. He's going to start from the back. We're just having some technical issues getting my co-commentator Desert. So just while everybody has a quick 2-minute break, we're just going to restart the stream. So give us a couple of minutes and then join us for the race live here on HTR.